refuse to lose. I'm built to win. Applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse. Mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like Toby, keep on running toes, they gon' take them. Refuse to lose, built to win. Applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win. Yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win. Applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Dave's Dawg House. Got a couple new candidates to be in the Dawg House this week. I hope y'all are ready for today's show because I am. Make sure you like, share, subscribe on YouTube as we push for 1,000 subscribers to be fully monetized this year, which will happen. How y'all doing today? Hope y'all doing great. I know we got some playoff football today between the Patriots and the Broncos and the Rams and Seahawks to see who's going to get to the Super Bowl in Santa Clara. Crazy that the Niners got eliminated right before they could have an opportunity to get to play at home in a Super Bowl. But it's life. Got to deal with it. Today, we got some puppy chow to serve. We got some dogs to talk about. And of course, we got to talk about the dog of the week. The person that has performed the brightest out of everybody. And today, we really only have two people to serve puppy chow to. So the very first one that I got to talk about, it's a young fella who's been in the league for a couple years now. A lot of people thought that he was going to be the next best thing. And not to say that he doesn't still have that opportunity. He does. He just has not played well the last 2 years, technically. And the playoff performances just have not been good. He, replaced the quarterback who's now with the Cleveland Browns. Who had left because of some controversy. I'm talking about C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud has had one too many opportunities where he messed up in the playoffs. And this year was no exception. He played pretty bad. Pretty bad in that game against the Patriots. He had more turnovers than quarters played in the playoffs. At one point, he had 7 turnovers and only played 6 quarters. That's not good. That's not winning football. And, C.J. Stroud had a phenomenal rookie year. A lot of people were saying that he belongs in the top 10. And, he played well, and then he had one of the best rookie seasons that we've ever seen. And then we saw what happened the next year after that when Jaden Daniels came up. Jaden Daniels had a phenomenal rookie year. But C.J. Stroud seems to have gone downhill. A lot of people like to say it's because they saw him out with Amber Rose and Kim Kardashian, but I got nothing to do with what happens outside of the football field. I'm just going to talk about what happens on the football field. And on the football field, he just has not played well. He's been throwing the ball inaccurately, giving the ball to the other team a little too much. And he just doesn't look right out there. He looks confused at times, like he doesn't know what he's doing out there. And I'm not sure if that's something he needs to fix, but that's something that needs to be taken care of immediately because his career is looking like it's going down instead of going up. And the last year we get it, sophomore slump. Okay, that's an excuse. This is the third year now. If he does the same thing next year, then I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen because it doesn't seem like he's looking forward to being better. It doesn't seem like he's going to get better. So at some point, CJ Stroud, you got to work in your game, whether it's something you're doing in the off season, reading defenses better and, having better anticipation when you're throwing the ball. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but you got to get together. And at this moment, you're in the doghouse.
My guy, you in the doghouse.
This very next one is actually a former MVP. And you would say, what? A former MVP in the doghouse? What did he do to say that he belongs in the doghouse? Well, some people are going to say he had to do it on his own and he didn't have much help. He had help before. And still hasn't gotten anywhere. This is the year that Patrick Mahomes wasn't in the playoffs, Joe Burrow's not in the playoffs, and Lamar Jackson. 3 guys. Well, not necessarily Lamar Jackson because I believe he's 2-0 against Lamar Jackson in the playoffs. But those are the 3 quarterbacks in the AFC where you were like, all right, he just, those are the guys that are his biggest competition. He goes up against the Broncos and he just can't get over the hump. He loses the game. And he had 4 turnovers. Like Josh Allen, you were the MVP last year. And a lot of people say that was a DEI MVP. They changed the overtime rules in the playoffs for Josh Allen. But guess what? Josh Allen is 0-7 all time in overtime. Whenever it goes to overtime, Josh Allen, for some reason, just doesn't win. They changed the rules for you. Because I remember that overtime game, I believe it was against the Chiefs in the playoffs. And it was because you didn't have a chance to get the ball. They changed the overtime rules to no matter who scores first, the other team gets a chance to go down and score as well. And even still, with the rules changing on your side, you still can't get it done. So, Josh Allen, I don't know what to say for you. You had a good running game. It wasn't necessarily there at that moment. Your GM has drafted multiple guys since then, but only 2 players have been to the Pro Bowl that he's drafted since he's gotten there. You haven't had a top wide receiver since Stephon Diggs left 2 years ago. Well, he left last year. And then this year he's with another team. So, I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what you got to do because I said you've been an MVP. You've been to the AFC Championship game before. But you got to figure out those turnovers, man. You got to make it happen, especially in opportunities like this when you have a Patrick Mahomes that's, towards Achilles and he's out, towards ACL and he's out. You got Lamar Jackson that, wasn't able to clinch his way into the playoffs. You got a Joe Burrow that, was hurt most of the year and then his team just, wasn't that good. Defense was good. Offensive line wasn't good. And, they're not in the playoffs. And you're the one guy who, although you didn't clinch your division, you made it there. You won the first game and you made it to the divisional round, but then that was it. One win and then you're out. How many times are we going to keep criticizing Lamar Jackson and these other quarterbacks and not give the same criticism to Josh Allen? So, Josh Allen, just like everyone else, you're in the doghouse.
My guy, you in the doghouse.
Okay, now we got a couple of dogs that we're going to talk about in this next segment. Very first one is a guy who has had a lot of criticism because of his time management, some of his decisions he's made in crunch time. He's had key losses since he's gotten um, to this position where he's at. He played for this school. He played for the school that he coaches now. He won a national championship with them, and he was a part of the best college football team in history, the 2001 Miami Hurricanes. He was on that team, and he is now the head coach for the Miami Hurricanes. I'm talking about Mario Cristobal. Yes, I get it. I understand it. He did not win it all this year. But you tell me how many people thought that the University of Miami would make it to the national championship this year? How many people thought that they would beat Texas A&M? How many people thought they'd beat Notre Dame this in the regular season? How many people thought that they would, beat Ohio State? How many people thought that they beat Ole Miss? It seems that they were underdogs throughout the entire thing. They had the toughest road to get to the national championship. Had a game where it was just 10-3, and then they beat Ohio State 24-14, and then had a shootout against Ole Miss, and lost in the national championship due to an interception in the last moments, where they were only down 6 points, 27-21, and that was the end of the score. But Mario Cristobal has changed the trajectory of this university. University of Miami was one of the best college football teams a while ago. And you can name so many players: Sean Taylor, Vince Wilfork, Jonathan Vilma, DJ Williams, Greg Olson, Jeremy Shockey, Andre Johnson, Michael Irvin, Clem Portis, Frank Gore. There's so many guys. Ray Lewis, Ed Reed. There's so many guys you can name that played for this university. And he got these guys into the national championship this year. Shout out to, Carson Beck. I understand he's the one that threw the interception, but still, pretty good season for a guy who had to, fight some demons because of what happened to him at Georgia. And then, Malachi Tone, the guy they call Baby Jesus, balling this year, balling. And then the two glue guys on the defense, Ruben Bain and Akeem Massador. He had this team playing phenomenal, playing physical, playing like an SEC type team. And this was the third year in a row where the SEC didn't even make it to the national championship. This was a phenomenal year. Although that, like I said, Miami didn't win it all. Still a phenomenal year for what he's been able to accomplish with this team. And Mario Cristobal definitely deserves some praise because, we all know that his coaching and time management wasn't necessarily great before, and no one thought that he would even get to this point. But he made some adjustments. I believe he hired some guys to help out with the clock management and everything for the team. And things changed. Got a new defensive coordinator, and this defense turned itself around. If this defense had the offense that was there last year, I believe they win the title. No question. I don't think anyone's able to. If Cam Ward had this defense last year, Cam Ward is a national champion right now. He's more likely a national champion than probably the Heisman winner. Because he balled out last year. It was basically Cam Ward or bust last year. But Mario Cristobal, like I said, he's made some changes since he's got here, and it's been amazing to see. So shout out to Mario Cristobal. This next guy, he's familiar with being in his position. I think he's one of the best young guards in the league right now. And I could tell you this right now. I think that if they were to move off of their other star and just focus on him, I think he could do some things with this team. I really do. He, along with another rookie, a rookie this year, looks like to be one of the best backcourts and basketball. And I'm simply talking about Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese Maxey for the Philadelphia 76ers has played well. And this is not to not give any highlight to Joel Embiid, because Joel Embiid over the last 5 or 6 games has averaged about 33 points a game. So Embiid is starting to come back to form. But we all know that Embiid isn't necessarily one of your healthiest guys. And Embiid just, I don't know. Embiid just for some reason just continues to not, stay healthy. He is one of 2 players this month to have over 20 steals. Him and VJ Edgecombe, the other rookie I was talking about. He is one of 3 players to average 30 plus points per game, 2 steals, and 3 plus threes a game. The other one was prime Harden and prime Steph Curry. I mean, y'all know what Steph Curry is. He is first in minutes, second in points, third in steals, third in threes, and he's an all-star this year. In the game against Indiana 5 days ago, he had 29, 8, and 8. And that's not 29. That's not 8 steals, 8 rebounds. That's 8 steals. So, and he joined Allen Iverson as the only 76ers with those numbers in the game. Only him and Allen Iverson. And then 2 days ago against Houston, in a game that they battled, he had 36 points, 10 assists, 4 steals, and he had 17 points in the fourth quarter in overtime. Tyrese Maxey is one of the brightest young stars in the NBA. And he's doing some of the best work I've seen out of a young guard to come in who wasn't necessarily a star before. Because you had Embiid. Embiid was the guy. And then Tyrese came in and just started balling. And you had to gave him more playing time. And you've seen this guy's actually a star. And could be a superstar. But Tyrese Maxey has been balling. And Tyrese Maxey, you are a dog. Okay, now we get to the very last part to talk about the dog of the week. The dog of the week is someone who has won a championship. Went undefeated through the regular season and the playoffs. Most recent, he has some really nice quotes, of course. I'm a winner. You can Google me. I'm talking about the one and only Curt Cignetti. Curt Cignetti has just taken over Indiana. He's taken over college football. Some people may go ahead and just call him the best coach in college football. And even though it's 1 year, I can't. It's almost like you can't deny it. Because you're going to look at guys like Ryan Day. No, not the best coach in college football. You look at Dan in Oregon. No, not the best. Because even when he gets to the point, he just hasn't gotten over the hump. He hasn't got to the national championship. Can't say Mario Cristobal, of course, because this is his first time getting there. After a couple seasons of letdown, his first time in the playoffs. And they battled for sure. But Curt Cignetti was at JMU and had JMU rolling. Got to Indiana and got Indiana rolling. And yeah, people are going to say that, he got all those 23, 24, 25, 26-year-olds. Yes, I understand it. But, I mean, it's the college rule. College allows it, so he's taking advantage of it. No one would have said anything if he had lost that game against Miami. They wouldn't have mentioned it. Curt Cignetti he does a phenomenal job at Indiana. He absolutely deserves to be the dog of the week because the guy did something that hasn't been done in Indiana ever. He's won their first ever national championship. First ever. They've never won one in their program history, and he's done something it's just great to see. Now, it wasn't good to see for me because I am a University of Miami fan, but I got to be unbiased about this and let you guys know. I mean, the guy's a phenomenal coach. He just does a great job of getting his guys together, making sure his guys are prepared. You know, he got Fernando Mendoza, Heisman winner, who's more than likely to be the number 1 overall pick. And man, I mean, and the guy Mendoza is from Miami, so to be from Miami, go in Miami and beat Miami, I bet you that's a great feeling for him. But Curt Cignetti, I mean, there's so many things people can say about him, but one thing you got to say is he's a champion. And like he said, Google me, I'm a winner. And that's one thing about him. He's a winner. Shout out to Curt Cignetti, the winner, the coach that won it all this year, went undefeated with Indiana, beat Ohio State to win the Big Ten championship, dog walk Alabama, dog walk Oregon. I mean, they pretty much dog walked their way all the way through the college football playoff and won the last game by 6 points in the dogfight. Shout out to Curt Cignetti and Indiana. That concludes Dave's Doghouse for this week. I will see you guys next time. Please make sure you like, share, subscribe on YouTube. Have a good weekend.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.